I'm definitely not hugging the horse head. And the more that you make it, like, touch your face, the more I want to beat it with this microphone. I want to kill it with fire and bury it in the earth. Yes, right here. How do I feel about... What happened back there? Somebody fart? What happened? What? Jesus is here? What's up, Jesus? What's up, man? Are you a fan of Roy Mustang? Can I get like a blessing later or something? Maybe a pardon? Oh, I got pardoned? What the... wait, I'm sorry, what was the question? Oh God, pudding cups. Who has heard the pudding story? Oh God, dang it! Okay. Right. So, if you raise your hand if you like Jell-O pudding snacks. I know. Yeah, it's not gonna have enough of this. So, like, there was one day that I was like, I need to go get some groceries, and you know when you're in the grocery store and you've got everything you need, and you make your way down a random aisle and you see things, and you're like, yes, I'm going to snag that as well. Random grocery store buy, like Tang or, in this case, Jell-O pudding snacks. I'm like, oh man, I have not had these since middle school. Snake 6-pack of Jell-O chocolate pudding snacks. So I'm watching a movie with my roommate at the time. We got all the lights off in the living room, and the place that we lived, right next door is the kitchen. And I'm like, I need a snack and a beverage. So I'm still watching the TV, and I like kind of get up, and like inside the doorway is the fridge. So you know when you're doing that, like watch the TV and doing the robot arm thing. And I'm like, oh, pudding snacks, awesome. Grab the pudding snack, first one, peel the lid. And in the like small amount of light that's coming from the TV in a totally dark room, I can like see the pudding snack, and it looks kind of different, but you know, I'm hungry and I'm watching a movie, so I have like 2 brain cells that are working at the time. You got total TV face going on, you know, you're like, you start reacting with the stuff they're doing. If they're scared, you're like, so I grab it and I'm like, I'm hungry, whatever, grab a spoon, into the pudding snack, into my mouth. And I immediately noticed that it's a little, like, rougher than it should be. Dare I say, crunchy? I'm like, what the fuck? Turn on the light, and the top of this chocolate Jell-O pudding snack is solid green. Just like, I'm like, like, throwing this thing, it explodes, the green goes up on the glass, I'm like, oh yeah! My friend comes running in, he's like, whoa! Oh, dude! Like, it was in my mouth! Get out! He's like, no, it's okay, it's, you know, it's just mold or fungus, they like use it to make medicine. I'm like, it's not mold or fungus! Like, grab a bottle of alcohol, pour it all over it, set a match on, fire alarm starts going on, I'm like, And we sit there staring at like the open refrigerator with the rest of the 5 pudding snacks that remain, and we're like, right, you gotta open the next one. No way, man. No way. You gotta open them. I opened the last one. It tried to kill me. And he's looking at it, and he's like, I mean, it says sealed for your protection. I'm like, it's lying to you. Don't believe the lies. We look like we were disarming a grenade. 2 grown-ass men on our knees in the middle of the kitchen, letting all of our food defrost. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. 1, 2, 3. Totally fine. So check your pudding snacks before you eat them, because mine tried to kill me. I had a lawn growing on the top. It was disgusting. Why are you holding up the picture? Oh, you have a question. That was very effective. I'm obviously easily distracted by shiny and large objects. If all the ladies in the miniskirt army had horse heads, there would be no army. It would just be devastation and genocide. It would be a bunch of half-dead, miniskirt, horsehead wearing fools on the ground. Like, what happened here? They're all wearing miniskirts. They have horse heads. Oh, God. Hate crime. Hate crime on horse heads. I'm telling you. Just hold it. Just put your hand down. Do you have a question? Or are you just holding it up to torment me? You do have a question. If it involves a horse head, I may beat you. Thank you for not involving the horse head. Least favorite of the main character? I don't really have a least favorite. I like the whole show. Yeah. No, Envy's cool. Envy's weird. I really like Sloth and Brotherhood. Patrick Seitz had that like deep, boomy, crazy voice with Sloth. Oh. Yeah, no, I like all those characters. I like them all. I really do like that show. I don't have a least favorite. Are you holding up money? Is that a $5 bill? Is that money for me? You're like, oh crap, I immediately regret this decision. That's true, you're right. Yes. No, he worked with the SS, yeah. You know, it's kind of speculation. You know, it's just, they're just trying to match up the timelines, and they thought it was an interesting way to put it into that timeline. I don't know what it means for everyone else, but you can see that he was a good person operating inside of what was largely an evil organization, so, you know, there's goodness, light even in the dark.
Okay, Batman.
Is that a lamb? It's an alpaca with a heart collar. Yes. Okay. Let's hear from the alpaca.
How do you think Roy and Alfonso get along?
I'm sorry.
How do you think Roy and Alfonso get along?
Shut up! Oh my God! It's you again from yesterday. I swear, I will take your little ears off and I will shove them down your throat if you do not shut up. That's not actually a real threat, but I will do something like throw this water at you. Just kidding about that as well. I'm not actually a violent person. But seriously, shut up. It's okay, you can talk as much as you want. But seriously, shut up. What'd you say?
How do you think Roy and Alfonso get along?
Oh, no. There's no getting along. It would, no. It would be like glove on, hand on sword, ponytail whipping around in agitation. And it would be a stare-off for the ages. I don't think that would end well. Now, Alan Walker and Edward Elric, I know, that would be like insta-lovers. Two tiny short stacks, and a little mini Happy Meal. And then Conda and I would burn them both together. And he would chop them up into little bitty bits. Right over here, yeah. Yeah, I'll request. Between Roy Mustang and Maury? Hey, what's up? You're really tall. So, you get a lot of action here in the host club? You know, I get a lot of action myself. I have, you know, all these women hanging around, but there's this one that just keeps getting away. So, do you have any nicknames for your favorite customers? Fancy Tuna. Awesome. Anything else you want to share? Maury like tuna. Prank called them as Roy Mustang? Whoa. Call my sister. I know, it's like, let's call everyone's relatives right now. I have, but they're always like, Roy Mustang? You mean Travis Willingham? No, you're far too smart for this. Clearly, a fictional character is not actually calling you. If I called someone who was like, hey, you're talking to Colonel Roy Mustang, and they were like, oh my God! I'd be like, and you're an idiot. We're living in a very nice fantasy world. Are you holding up that shark?
Guitar? Yeah.
Is it not a shark?
It's a shark guitar. It's for Brooke.
It's a shark guitar. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, shout it out.
So, I was wondering, what type of voice actor
I now work on a lot more original animation than I did in the past. There are different challenges. Like for anime, I love the fact that it's already animated. You get to see what it's going to look like, what the action is doing, what the character is doing, what's happening with their faces. It tells you a lot about the performance. And there's a certain challenge that makes you take a line and make it fit in a pre-existing space, right? Original animation, you have the freedom to act as long as, act however you want, take as long as you want, and you and the director kind of get to set the tone for what the animators will then do. So it's a completely different process, but they're both really great. I do a little less anime now than I did before, just because we're busy with video games and other animation, but stuff that's going on in Bleach and Naruto and some projects that are going on in Funimation, if they're passion projects of mine, I usually am able to go back and do those if I ask very nicely. So they're both very good things. Right here with you. Yes. Hi. Oh yeah, cuttlefish, right. Have you guys ever had cuttlefish? It's the dog, what? You love it? Man, do you like wearing like clothespins like pinched on your arms and like people sticking their thumbs in your eyes too? Because I am judging you as we speak. It was so nasty. We were in Japan, and we were at a very nice sushi bar, and at the end of the night we played a thing called Sushi Roulette, which because the menus are in all, Japanese, you can't read them, they just have pictures, and so you pick the person to the right of you's last single roll, and you're trying to pick the most disgusting looking thing on the menu. I had Laura Bailey to my right, my wife, and I picked what turned out to be eel, but it was covered in this really gross looking sauce, and it would turn out to be delicious, so I totally failed. Laura picked cuttlefish for Troy, and he picked for me cuttlefish, which is like a deep ice water squid covered in fish innards. Like fish guts. Oh, no, fried would have been better. It was ice cold, and it's literally like rubber, right, at the bottom, and then on top, you know when you like rake leaves into a bag right after it's rained and then it sits out in the hot sun for like a week and a half and you accidentally break that bag and the smell that comes out of that? That was going in my mouth. I literally put it in my mouth and chewed it like 3 times, and to prevent myself from projectile vomiting over the rest of the restaurant, I like shoved it as far as I could over into like one cheek, like a chipmunk. And I sat there with all of the veins in my neck and face bulging because I was laughing so hard. They're like, just swallow it. I'm like, you don't understand. If I do that, I'm going to paint all of you. And the stunt coordinator that was there for the Sega project in Japan was like, hey, just take a big mouthful of beer and like wash you down. I'm like, that's a great idea. Grabbed the beer, poured it into my mouth, except it mixes the taste all over your mouth. And then I had fish guts and beer in my mouth, and both my cheeks are popping out, and I'm trying to keep Armageddon from happening all over the corner of this restaurant. Near cardiac arrest, and finally found like the will to just go like, go. It was horrible. I don't recommend it. If you see cuttlefish and you want to take a ride on the freak train, be my guest. Just be prepared. Fry it, and it won't be so bad. With the black hat and the sunglasses. Yeah. Besides Dragon Ball Z, I watched all like Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I like Wolf's Rain and Vampire Hunter D, Cowboy Bebop. There's a lot. I have watched some Sailor Moon, D. Gray Man's good. Yeah, there's a lot. We don't get to watch as many as we used to. We watched a lot more anime before we worked on it. I'm sure other people have said this before. When you work on it for like 8 hours a day, the last thing you want to do is go home and watch more of it. You're like,